Let's dive straight in. Yosemite Rockfall, July 10, 1993. Yosemite National Park, California. A hot afternoon. Campers packed into Yosemite Valley. Tents line the base of Glacier Point. Around 1:30 p.m., the sound started. A low crack. Like thunder, but underground. Hikers nearby froze. Then the cliff face gave way. Granite slabs, the size of trucks, broke off. They fell 600 feet straight down. No warning. No time. Boulders hit the ground at 120 miles per hour. Dust clouds swallowed the campground. People screamed and ran, but not fast enough. One campsite took the full force. A family of 3 was pinned instantly. Their tent shredded. The father and daughter were crushed. The mother was pulled out alive, barely breathing. She didn't make it through the night. Rangers closed the entire area. They described the Rockfall zone as complete destruction. Trees snapped like sticks. Tents and coolers were buried under 15 feet of rubble. Recovery teams worked in masks because the dust was so thick. It took hours to dig out the bodies. Survivors were covered in ash-like powder, coughing and crying. Later reports said 30,000 tons of granite broke loose. No trigger. Just natural erosion. Yosemite averages 80 rockfalls a year, but this one was the deadliest in decades. Blunt outcome: 3 campers dead. Dozens injured. Campground permanently scarred. Yosemite reminded everyone that sleeping under cliffs isn't safe. Smoky Mountains bear attack, August 14, 2001. Great Smoky Mountains, Tennessee. Late afternoon, a mother and her 6-year-old daughter set up camp near Elkmont. It was quiet. Other families were nearby. No one saw the bear coming. Around 5 p.m., hikers heard screams. A black bear, about 250 pounds, ran into the site. It grabbed the girl first, bit her neck, dragged her 100 feet into the woods. The mother tried to fight it off. Threw rocks. Hit it with sticks. She was mauled across her arms and head. The bear didn't stop. By the time rangers arrived, the girl was dead. Her body was partly buried under leaves. The mother survived, but barely. She had deep wounds and permanent scars. Authorities hunted the bear for hours. They tracked blood and paw prints. That night, they found it feeding on food scraps near another campsite. Rangers shot it. Tests showed the bear was healthy. Not starving. Not sick. Just aggressive. Wildlife officers ruled it predatory behavior, rare for black bears. Only a handful of cases like it in U.S. history. Aftermath was grim. The campground closed. Families packed up in silence. Rangers set stricter rules. No food left out, no garbage. Even then, fear lingered. Blunt outcome: a 6-year-old killed in front of her mother. The Smokies never forgot it. Albert Pike flash flood, June 11, 2011. Albert Pike Campground, Arkansas. A Friday night. Dozens of families camping along the Little Missouri River. Kids roasting marshmallows. Parents drinking by campfires. No one saw the storm upriver. After midnight, heavy rain hit the Ouachita Mountains. Inches fell in an hour. By 2 a.m., the river swelled fast. Campers woke to water rushing past their tents. By 4 a.m., the flood turned deadly. The river rose 20 feet in less than an hour. Campers scrambled for higher ground. Cars floated off the road. Witnesses said the roar was deafening. Families climbed trees, clinging to branches in the dark. Some slipped. Others were swept away. Entire tents disappeared underwater. Rescue crews struggled to reach the site. Roads were gone. Helicopters circled at dawn. Survivors waved from hillsides. Others were stranded on rooftops. The flood killed 20 people. Half were children. The youngest victim was 2 years old. Some families were wiped out completely. The campground was never reopened. Lawsuits followed. Families accused the Forest Service of ignoring flood warnings. The government settled but denied fault. Today, Albert Pike is abandoned. The river runs quiet. Signs warn: flash flood hazard. Camping prohibited. Blunt outcome: a campground turned into a graveyard in one night. Glacier tree fall, August 12, 2017. Glacier National Park, Montana. Late afternoon, Fish Creek Campground. A family of 5 set up tents under tall pines. Warm, windy day. Around 7:30 p.m., the wind picked up hard. Witnesses said it sounded like a gunshot. A 100-foot lodgepole pine cracked in half. The trunk slammed straight onto one tent. Inside, a father and his young son were lying down. Other campers rushed over. They tried lifting the trunk. Too heavy, over 2,000 pounds. The tent was flattened. No movement inside. Rangers arrived within minutes. Chainsaws cut through the tree. Both victims were pulled out. The boy, 3 years old, died instantly. The father was unconscious, with massive chest injuries. He was airlifted to a hospital but didn't make it. The rest of the family watched helplessly. The mother and 2 daughters had been in another tent just feet away. Aftermath was brutal. Rangers closed sections of the campground. Inspections revealed dozens of weakened trees, roots rotted from beetle infestations. Park officials called it an unpredictable hazard. Blunt outcome: a tree fell, crushing 2 people to death in their sleep. Lightning in Boundary Waters, June 28, 1999. Boundary Waters Canoe Area, Minnesota. A group of 7 teenagers paddled deep into the wilderness. They set up camp on Basswood Lake. It was evening, skies turning dark. Around 8 p.m., a thunderstorm rolled in. Rain hammered down. The group sheltered near the shoreline, huddled under trees. Wrong place. At 8:30, a lightning bolt hit. Direct strike. The energy spread through the wet ground and into the group. Witnesses said the flash blinded them. The sound was deafening. One boy, 16, died instantly. His heart stopped. Another was thrown several feet, unconscious. The others had burns on their arms and legs. 2 paddlers launched a canoe in the storm, racing to find help. It took hours to reach rangers. By the time medics arrived, the storm was over. The dead boy was still lying where he fell, surrounded by his friends. Later reports showed lightning killed 4 people in Minnesota that year, this one the youngest. Experts warned, never shelter under trees. Boundary Waters now posts clear lightning safety rules. Blunt outcome: a teenage camper fried alive by a single strike. Carbon monoxide, July 21, 2006. Mount Rainier National Park, Washington. Cool night at Ohanapecosh Campground. A family brought a small charcoal grill inside their tent to keep warm. By midnight, neighbors heard nothing unusual. The family slept quietly. The grill kept burning. Carbon monoxide filled the tent. Colorless. Odorless. Deadly. At dawn, a ranger on patrol noticed the site was still closed up. He knocked. No answer. Unzipped the tent. Found 4 bodies inside. Parents and 2 teenage kids. They never woke up. No struggle. Just suffocated. The news spread fast. Campers across Rainier were shaken. Most had no idea how dangerous charcoal could be indoors. Officials launched an immediate safety campaign. Signs went up at every site. Do not bring stoves, grills, or lanterns inside tents. Park rangers still bring up this case when warning new visitors. Blunt outcome: 1 mistake, using a grill for heat, killed an entire family. Alaska Grizzly Mauling, September 8, 2012. Denali National Park, Alaska. A 49-year-old solo camper hiked deep into Denali's backcountry. No partner. No guide. Just a tent, food, and a camera. Around 5 p.m., he spotted a grizzly near a river. He took photos from only 40 yards away. Park rules said 300 yards. He ignored them. Minutes later, the bear charged. Fast, 35 miles per hour. He had no time. No weapon. The bear tackled him in seconds. Hikers found the scene that evening. Torn tent. Gear scattered. Camera on the ground, full of bear photos. His body was mauled beyond recognition. Rangers tracked the bear overnight. At dawn, they shot it near the site. Stomach contents confirmed it had fed on him. Denali closed parts of the park for days. It was the first fatal bear attack in its history. Officials blamed the victim's poor judgment. He broke every safety rule. Blunt outcome: 1 man, shredded by a grizzly, for standing too close. Sequoia River drowning, July 19, 2018. Sequoia National Park, California. Hot summer afternoon. A group of college kids camped near the Sequoia River. Temps over 95. They decided to swim. The current looked calm near the shore. Around 3 p.m., 1 student slipped into deeper water. He was pulled downstream instantly. Friends screamed and tried to grab him. Too late. The river hit Class V rapids just a few hundred yards down. He disappeared in seconds. Rescuers searched with helicopters and divers. They found his body pinned under rocks 5 hours later. Park rangers said the Sequoia kills people almost every year. Cold snowmelt, hidden undertows, and brutal rapids. After the death, Sequoia tightened warnings. Signs now say, in bold, "This river can kill you." Blunt outcome: a fun swim turned into a body recovery. Avalanche in Colorado, March 27, 2009. San Juan Mountains, Colorado. A pair of campers set up near 11,000 feet. Early spring snow still heavy. They pitched tents on a slope below a cornice. At 2 a.m., the mountain gave way. A slab avalanche broke loose, 200 feet wide, 4 feet deep. It thundered down the slope at 60 miles per hour. The first tent was buried instantly. One man died in his sleeping bag, crushed by snow. The second camper managed to dig an air pocket, but he was trapped under 6 feet of snow. Rescue dogs found him alive 8 hours later. Severe frostbite. Broken ribs. He lost 3 fingers. Authorities said the campers ignored avalanche bulletins. The slope was rated high risk. They set up in the worst possible spot. Blunt outcome: 1 dead, 1 crippled. All for camping on an unstable slope. Yellowstone bear mauling, July 24, 1985. Yellowstone National Park, Wyoming. Early evening, canyon campground. A group of campers cooked burgers on a fire ring. The smell carried. Around 9 p.m., a grizzly sow with 2 cubs wandered into camp. At first, people clapped and shouted, trying to scare it. Didn't work. The bear kept moving closer. One camper, 23 years old, tried to run for his car. Bad move. The sow charged. She knocked him down in seconds. Witnesses said she bit his head and neck repeatedly. Other campers threw rocks, screamed, even fired a warning shot. The bear wouldn't stop. By the time rangers arrived, the man was dead. His body dragged off into the woods. The cubs fed alongside their mother. The next day, rangers tracked the family. They shot all 3. Brutal, but necessary. They tasted human flesh. Officials ruled the campers' mistake fatal. Running triggered the chase. Yellowstone now drills it into visitors. Don't run from bears. Blunt outcome: 1 man dead, 3 bears killed, all because of panic. Sierra Hypothermia, August 5, 2015. Sierra Nevada Mountains, California. A group of 4 friends planned a summer hike. Clear skies, warm morning. They didn't pack heavy gear. Just light jackets, tents, and snacks. By late afternoon, a storm blew in. Temperatures dropped from 70 to 40 in an hour. Rain turned to sleet. One camper, 19 years old, got soaked. His clothes never dried. Shivering, confused, stumbling. Classic hypothermia signs. His friends tried to warm him in a sleeping bag. No firewood, everything was wet. By midnight, he stopped moving. They couldn't reach help. No cell service, no radio. At dawn, they hiked out for rescue. Rangers arrived too late. The boy was dead in his bag. An autopsy confirmed hypothermia. In August, rangers said the mountains don't care what season it is. Summer can flip to winter in hours. Blunt outcome: 1 student froze to death on a trip that started in sunshine. Blue Ridge Cliff Fall, October 17, 2016. Blue Ridge Parkway, North Carolina. 2 college campers set up near a scenic overlook. They hiked after dark to find a good view of the stars. Around 11 p.m., they climbed a rocky ledge. No railings. No lights. Just a 200-foot drop. One slipped. Witnesses said he lost his footing on wet leaves. He fell straight down, hitting rocks the whole way. His friend called 911, but there was nothing to do. Rescuers rappelled at dawn to recover the body. It took 3 hours. The victim, 20 years old, was a student from Georgia. His family said he loved hiking. Rangers called it tragic but preventable. Never climb cliffs at night. The overlook is still open, but new warning signs were added. Bright yellow, danger. Sheer drop. Blunt outcome: 1 misstep, a fall, and a body bag at sunrise. Grand Canyon Heatstroke, July 21, 1994. Grand Canyon National Park, Arizona. A group of campers hiked into the canyon in the afternoon. Temps hit 112 degrees at the bottom. They carried 1 gallon of water each. Not enough. By 3 p.m., one man, 27 years old, slowed down. Dizzy, stumbling, confused. His skin was dry, lips cracked. Heatstroke. Friends tried pouring water on him. He collapsed anyway. No pulse. Other hikers ran to find a ranger. Took 2 hours in the heat. By the time help arrived, he was gone. Recovery was brutal. Rangers hauled his body out on muleback. Tourists watched silently as the line came up the trail. Park officials called it predictable. Every summer, dozens collapse. Some die. Signs at trailheads now read, "Going down is optional. Coming up is mandatory." Blood outcome, 1 man dead on the trail, baked alive by desert heat. Utah van poisoning, May 23, 2020. San Rafael Swell, Utah. A young couple road tripped in a converted van. They camped overnight in a desert canyon. It got cold after dark. They ran a propane heater inside. No ventilation. Neighbors saw the van parked all night. Doors shut. Windows sealed. At 10 a.m., friends checked on them. Both were dead in bed. Carbon monoxide filled the van. Silent, invisible. The sheriff called it an accident. The heater wasn't defective. Just misused. News spread across van life forums. Warnings blew up, crack a window, by a detector. Still, cases like this happen every year. Blood outcome, 2 young lives gone, killed by their own heater. Mount Hood blizzard, August 12, 1980. Mount Hood, Oregon. A Boy Scout troop camped on the south side of Mount Hood. 10 kids, 2 leaders. They expected mild weather. By midnight, a sudden snowstorm rolled in. Winds over 60 miles per hour. Whiteout conditions. Tents shredded. The group tried digging snow caves for shelter. Not enough. Temperatures dropped below freezing. Rescuers searched for 3 days. Helicopters spotted scattered gear. 7 scouts were found dead from hypothermia. Ages 11 to 14. 2 adults also died. Only 3 kids survived, barely. The disaster sparked nationwide outrage. Critics blamed poor planning. Leaders ignored weather warnings and led kids too high. Today, the case is still taught in survival training. The mountain doesn't care about age or innocence. Blood outcome. A scout trip ended with body bags, not badges.